Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our second PrimaGO webinar in the space of a couple of weeks. If we can just give a couple of us a couple more minutes to join. I know there's a few more pending. So in fact, as I said, I think 6 more have joined. So this is good. So we've got 24 so far. Yeah, we'll just give it a minute and then we'll start the presentation. About another 30 seconds, then we'll go for it. Okay, right. That's given people time to join. I'm conscious of your precious time, so just to give you another warm welcome to everyone who's joining this webinar. The webinar is scheduled for around 30 minutes and no more than that. We may just go under, we may just go over, but there's some really good content in this presentation. Again, Jordan, Jim, and Dan and myself will be part of the presentation. We'll cover off the work that has just been released to the system this weekend. Okay, so when the forthcoming webinars, one will be on Marketplace, and the next one on PrimaGO will be a presentation of stuff as it's going to be released, not after it's been released. But we wanted to get this in because we thought it was really crucial. The session is being recorded, so that will be shared out. But the topics we're going to cover are from Jordan. Jordan's going to cover the improvements to the look and feel, search results, checkout, etc., and all improvements to the UI and the crispness of the display. Where we're going to start adding in hover over selection to save users having to click on selections that hover over and update. Jim is going to go through how the system can now be automated for nominal sorting, sorry. He will look at scheduled jobs. So we've got a lot of scheduled jobs that we've added in the tasks that you can have run to show different data updates that are required. And then he'll touch on frequently purchased items. And then Dan will cover saved baskets and the whole process there. Quite a good process if you want to go down that route. And I'll then discuss a brief thing about banners from suppliers that you'll be able to use, marketing pop-ups, and a really quick overview on the search results that's coming in the next few days. Okay, so without further ado, I think we'll hand over to Jordan, who can take the stage and show off his work that he's been delivering. Over to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Gary. Okay, so I'll just share my screen 1 second.
One thing I would add is any questions, just feel free to put them in the chat. If we can't answer them in the meeting, we will answer them afterwards. Okay.
Okay. So, last couple of weeks I've been working on trying to make the web store look crisper, images look better, etc., and trying to cater for all screen sizes. I mean, some even going up to like 30 inches. I've been testing it on that as well. And so, if I share, this is a good example. If I just search for pens, for example, this is what your product listing looks like. So this is my screen. This is like a standard 15-inch screen. So as you can see, you just get a little gap at the side like this. And you can see all the products nicely, everything like this. So if I show you what it looks like now, so 2000 pixels is what's set up here. So this will be about a 20-inch screen. So this is what it looked like on a 20-inch screen. If I knock it up a bit more to 25 inches like this, you'll see the content starts to come in from the sides, tries to centralize it. So why we do this now is because when it was at this sort of screen size, it was stretching the products, the images look stretched. And all this was like stretched across and you had loads of white space. So we tried to bring it in more. So if I show you again now, like 30 inches, it'll bring it in even more like this. I mean, I don't know if many people use a 30-inch screen, but this is what it would look like on there. Um, I know quite a lot of our customers in the US use bigger screens, so this will be helpful then for them also. And then if you want to go down further, so I think mine is about 1,600. So that's what it looks like on my screen. And then if I go down further, 1,400, it fills out the space. Obviously, the smaller you go, you want it closer to the sides because you have to fit all the information in like that. So that's sort of what I've done with the screen size. I've tried to cater for everyone's sort of screen. So hopefully that's helpful. Um, I can show you. So I've added in this new menu. So at the side here, you have this My Account here where it's got your name. It's got Hello Gary. So if you hover over this now, you get a menu like this. It gives you your company name here at the top. This is this is helpful for people who I might forget, or you do. There is a function on here as well for people that have got it set up where you can switch accounts. If you switch account, you might forget what account you've actually switched to, so you can just hover over this and quickly check instead of going to the dashboard and having a look. I've tried to put all the settings in here that are, where you need to get to all the time. So I think if you go to the dashboard, all these settings are in there as well, but having them all here instead of going to another page reduces the clicks, etc. And obviously you can access this menu from any page. So if you need to get somewhere quickly, you can just hover over this like that and then click where you need to go. And you've got your name down here and you can log out as well. And then I've made a few changes to the basket. As you can see here, um, you can proceed to checkout now straight from any screen. Um, so do you know what? I've turned prices off on this because I was testing something before, so you won't see the full. Let me just turn it on quickly. 1 second. Actually, I'll log in as a different user. That'll be quicker.
Yeah, and explain why you've made that change as well, Jordan, because that's a good one for the audience.
What the price one?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay,
you can show that as well.
okay. I'll just log in as a different user. Go Jacob. Okay, so if I go to the basket. So as I was saying, now you can proceed straight to checkout. So if you don't need to fill in any cost centers or add any notes against your products or whatever, you can just click this button, you can go straight to checkout. So I go to the basket. Okay, so in the basket, I've changed the colors on the buttons just to make it more obvious what the user has to do, and I've added just some light borders around these to show you that it's separated, etc. So anything, if you're creating something or saving something, it'll be in green. And I've put proceed to checkout. Well, this doesn't change color. I've left it like this because I think this is the most obvious here. This is what you want to do. You don't want people to be doing anything else really. You just want to proceed straight to checkout. So these options have changed here slightly. Before this would be open like this and it'd be taking up quite a lot of room. So I've added it like a little click down so you can do that now and you can come in here and select one like that. And as you can see here, it'll say not set if you've not got one assigned. And then the same for this line notes as well. So if you click on there like that and you can say hello like this, and you can just click away like that and it'll save it for you like that there. Um, if you do type something in here, then click straight proceed to checkout, it will also update it, so don't worry about that. Um, and then again, I can show you this sort of screen size thing on here. So if I go up to 2000 pixels, it'll be like this. 2500, it brings it in more. And then 3000 like this, it'll bring it even more. Just because if you can imagine this being all the way over here like this, it'd be so stretched, you'd have loads of big white space and loads of wasted space. So we just brought it in a little bit, so it's kind of in the center of the screen. And then checkout, I've changed a bit as well, just to make it more streamlined. So I've put these two next to each other now. Previously, this was going all the way across to here, and this was going like underneath it. So I just tried to save some space by putting them next to each other. Um, I've also added in some stuff around the order reference. So I don't know if I covered this in the last one actually. I think I did. Um, where if you've got a prefix set in the back office, then it automatically fill it in for you. Um, so say if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 set in the back office, when you come to the checkout for this particular company or user, it will fill it in for you, so you don't have to remember it. And then this is telling you that you need to enter something after it just to make sure that it's unique. So if I just put an S in like that, and then it's telling me here as well that I need to select a delivery address. So that's why the button's grayed out. So if I just select a delivery address like that, then you'll see that this will just update and then you can place the order. I've moved the place order button over here just because I think it does that on most sort of web stores. I looked at a few like Amazon, etc. They always have it on this side. And I think that's where you look last, really. So thought that was a good position to place it. And then with these as well, so these used to be open like this, and it'd take up quite a lot of space. So I've put them just on click. This is open because this is required. If it wasn't required, then it would be closed like that, and you wouldn't, it's just an option then. You can either add it or you don't. And then same with the department and the notes. It's up to you if you add them or not. And then just the same, you just click place order and that's it. Um, I think that might be it for my stuff, Gary, unless there's anything you want me to add. Did you want me to add something about the
Just show the difference
the...
on the place order when no prices are
Oh, okay.
displayed if you can. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll just show you this quickly. I'll just log back in as you. So the display will be so there's a setting in the back office that you can choose to not display prices. So I'll just show you what it looks like without that because I know quite a few people use it. Sorry about the noise. So obviously this isn't going to have the prices on it. Um, and you'll have no summary on the side either because there's no point because it's all about the price and the calculation, the VAT, etc. So if I proceed to checkout, it's going to look a bit different to what it is with prices. See on here is where you get no order summary again because there's no point in displaying it because it's all to do with prices. But you will get a screen like this and it just kind of centers it in the middle because you've got nothing on the side. And then you'll have your it'll tell you how you're paying. And if you do want to change that, by the way, this is another option that you can set up in the back office. You can have pay on account or card. So this is a bit different now. What it used to be like this and it'd be open like that. Um, so what I've just done it again like this. So it'll tell you you're paying on account. If you do want to change it, you just click change like that, and then you can click on the credit card one, and then it'll tell you you're paying with card now. And then you can click place order. So it's a little bit different if you've not got prices displaying, but I think most people will. But I just thought I'd show that to cover it.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you,
you very much.
Jordan. So yeah, Jordan's just covered off the changes to the UI. There will be more. We want to make it a lot crisper, a lot more effective. I think it looks great and utilizes all the different screen sizes, from mobile up to I'd even say 80-inch screens now. So we're not having too many products, but using the space provided. But there will always be other opportunities to improve that further. So well done, Jordan. So just hand over to Jim now, if you want to take the stage, Jim.
Gary, let me just share my screen. So yeah, I'm going to go over first of all the nominal assignments. So at the moment on the nominals, well, categories. At the side here we've got these categories, and these are nominals, but these are the actual individual categories and the types. So this order of groups can be updated manually, and which has been used for many years. So we're just going to the control panel. If you click onto all categories, you can go into one of these nominals and reorganize the nominals manually. So it's been in for a while, but it's a lot of management, and especially when things change and stuff like that. So to alleviate that sort of process, is introducing new options, which is based on past invoiced orders. So there's two settings in the settings, under the general tab. It says choose type of nav group ordering influence, and also the number of years to be used. Now I'm going to take this off because this was my original intention, to update overnight. The problem with that is that you wake up every morning and it is based on invoiced sales, but you don't really want your category structure to be fluctuating every single day because it might get on users' nerves. So now it's more in your control to when that can happen. So I'm going down the route of either introducing it into the overnight task. Oh, overnight. I'm introducing it into the tasks, which could be based on the timing that suits you, or I haven't got it working with that at the moment. There needs to be another option to toggle whether to use the task, or actually no, just remove the task actually. Yeah. So at the moment it's going to be a manual process. So these are the options for the influencing. So based on 4 years or whatever, up to 4 years, this can be accommodated to, I'm not sure how much is relevant actually, whether it's more, a lot of people would use 1 year. Would you go down to months? So just leave a comment if you got any opinion about that, whether it to be extended or reduced. So the three we can cover is sales, quantity ordered, and margin. So all based on invoiced sales. So if at the moment, like we've just shown you, if we go to all categories, we've got heaters, bookcases, seating. Actually, let's go to stationery. Stationery. I've got disposable equipment, paper, storage boxes, and so on. And this is the way it's being manually organized. So now if I go to system settings, go to general, change this to sales, based off the last 4 years of sales, save that. Now, when I go into the all categories, a new option appears at the top. Well, not option. It lets you know that you've got nav group influencing enabled in the settings. It won't affect the ordering of the nominals, which is the main level. This is for you to organize because you've got you can have content pages in between these things. So it doesn't affect this ordering. You can do that yourself. The only thing it affects is the level below, which is the groups. So this will reorder the attribute groups and the types based on this, and also the types as well, sorry. And based on what we get set it for is sales, and for the period of 4 years. And I've introduced this button to allow you to control when that update happens. So some people wouldn't want to run it via tasks to run every night, every hour, oh God, every month or every 6 months or whatever. So you can choose to just refresh when you think it's important to change the attribute group and type ordering. So now that I've enabled this, this is now based on the sales. So if I can click refresh, it'll go and grab those sales. So that's being populated in a table somewhere. And this will reorder these. So based on the invoiced sales for the last 4 years, files, folders, wallets, and pockets is the highest under stationery. So if we go to the website now, we can see paper and stuff like that because I haven't refreshed the page. So now that we've established it using sales for the last 4 years, if we refresh, now we've got files, folders, bullets, and pockets. And also the types underneath it are being organized to the highest type that's been purchased over the last 4 years. So you can see file is very popular under files, bullets, and pockets, over lever arch files. There was a point when I thought it might be worth showing you which ones have been influenced by sales, because once the invoiced attribute groups and types have been influenced, it's only based on what people have ordered. So it's not every single group. It could be only 10 of these. And so when I was actually debugging it, debugging this whole thing, I was thinking maybe we could introduce a setting to allow you to see which have been influenced. So it looks like this and this have been influenced because everything else is now alphabetical after that point. So only these two have actually been on this test database have only been purchased. And you can see staples is high on desktop accessories. And actually the count that actually comes from the calculation, I was displaying while I was debugging it to see where the influence was coming in. So I'm not sure whether it's worth another option in settings. So you can actually, while you're messing with this, you can say, show the value or something. But it's on a live system, so I'm not sure if that's relevant. So yeah, that was just what I was going to touch on that one. So if you go to any other education and all the other groups, they've been similarly affected. Remember, this is a test system, so you won't probably see a lot of influence on this one. But yeah, that is the setup of the. So yeah, in the settings, this is based on sales. So we go to the system. We can also do exactly the same, but we can also base it on the quantity ordered, which would, give you different results. Look at that. Data, all categories. It will show up here. Quantity ordered for the last 4 years. Refresh it. And then I'll refresh this page. And it looks like on this test system only, yeah. So regardless of whether it was quantity ordered or amount, it's still highlighting these two as the most frequently purchased. So, and also you got margin, which is the profit you're making on that one. So if we go to here, change this to margin, just so it's all covered. So based on margin for the last 4 years, refreshes it, populates the data in the background, and then immediately, yeah. So we're not really seeing that much of an influence on this one. So, but this is available now on your own systems. So it's a case of, if you don't need this option, so just go into system and settings and then just disable the option if you prefer the manual organization of these settings. So yeah, so that's that one covered. The next one I'm going to cover is tasks. So if you go into tasks, so the most used task we got in here is abandoned baskets. This will automatically email you out based on how much you want to repeat. So we got it every day, emailing out, and it will email out at that time, and send you a summary of basic contact details and the basket quantities to give instead of looking into the control panel, it just gives you a heads up. So that's an automated process. Bad emails, this will do a check against your system and it will tell you about orders that have been placed. Orders that have been placed, but with who have bad emails, so they're not actually getting order acknowledgements, and it could be all the invalid characters that are involved. Sometimes people can double add two emails into the same space in the back office, and that's not allowed. It needs to be unique, and it needs to be singular email. Company celebration. This is something that we introduced for ourselves, but we thought you guys might be able to benefit from this. This is we'll pull off a report of companies who've been with your business, who've been set up in your business and actively using your system, and show you, I think it's a period of 10 years or something, and it'll say, hey, how about celebrating these guys? They've been with you for 10 years. And it's another email heads up marketing example there. These ones are more to do with data. So if you've got products that you've created and they've ended up having the same PG number, um, this this can cause issues in many different parts of Prima. So it's something that is addressed in, I think there's a housekeeping tool in the back office which attempts to solve a lot of these issues. So if you haven't got stock or something like that, I think it attempts to remove these. I might be wrong on that, but all this does is highlight. So it'll give you each item code that you can look up in the back office to find out, and you'll see that both of these have been somehow created over the time, and it might be very historical, but it's still in your system. Two item codes that have probably come from two different catalogs. One you probably don't even have anymore. But because they've got the same PG number, they're effectively the same product. Now, when other things are getting created, this duplication causes other issues. So it's for you to go in and decide which of these two products needs to be removed. Another thing on bad data is, oh, sorry, image duration. I think there's a time index on some banners. And I think this is what the image duration is. I can't really comment on this one. I haven't looked into this as much. We'll move on to the next one. This is a simple email, and all it does, it just checks any catalogs that you got attached to your web store and whether they've expired, which can affect your purchasing and all the other things. So it's just to help you maintain your web stores and make sure that you've got your catalogs up to date. And it's just another reminder. I think there is a reminder in the back office about expired catalogs. So this is just another thing that will help you maintain your system. And then there's another one for recurring orders, which once established, any order pad set up as recurring will be picked up and processed. I think that covers the tasks, and you can easily just create the task as per normal. Select on the action, and it will. At the moment, we haven't got a list of all the others, so this will be. Oh, sorry. This will only show you a list of emails that you haven't got set up. So recent orders with no email. So I'm contradicting myself there. This is another task that you can set up, which is what I was talking about before, where if an order's been placed and there's no email associated to it, then this is another task that can email out to yourselves to jump on and say, all right, well, this guy's not going to get any order acknowledgements. So you can find out the contact details and update the email appropriately. So you won't see any options in there because we've got all these tasks set up on this system. And then the last but not least is, I'll go on to modules. Frequently purchased products. So as your customers are frequently purchasing your products, there is a query in this module that will, I think at the moment it's set to a certain period of time, like 6 months, I think it is. And because this is a test system, there isn't actually any products that actually come through, but it's just like another module. The products that it collects is based on the last 6 months. It will be worth putting an option in here for a number of months or maybe years to allow it to be configurable. At the moment, there isn't in there. We've hard-coded it to 6 months, I think. But you would set this up just as you would any other module, and then you can attach it onto a page. So just to show you, attached to a page, frequently purchased products. But if you go onto the website, you can see that there's the first one is a special price because there's no frequently purchased products on this test system. So it's went to this one next.
Okay. Thanks, Jim. So Jim just covered off the nominal sorting because we've always had nominal sorting where you could do it yourself, but we wanted to. We've often had requests, can this be automated? Well, we've offered facilities there where it can be automated. You've seen the option there with tasks. That's where you can have some housekeeping set up, so you can have housekeeping notifications where there's emails wrong, or maybe there are additional tasks going to be added there. Things like this contract has discontinued lines on which need to be addressed, or this order pad does. So we're going to add more and more tasks in there just to really help you guys and people to address your systems. And then we're always looking to add in new modules. Really, that module that Jim just shown you there with the frequently is designed for when you're logged in, and it will look at, and with on your system you have a lot more history. Okay, so always looking to improve in that area. So now we just hand over to Dan, who's going to go through the ability to save baskets and how that works on the system should you wish to have it switched on. Dan, over to you.
Okay, just share my screen. You can see that, yeah, Gary?
I can see it.
Good. Let me just refresh that. All right, so if you look at your basket when we've got the basket preview, this is what the basket preview normally looks like. And if you go into view basket, again, this is the normal layout of a normal basket. Now, you've always kind of had the option to have save a basket. There's been a few tweaks and improvements. So that the names is here, which is create save basket. I think it was save as named basket before. And if you click onto that, you can then specify a name for this new basket. By default, it just populates this with a value, so just the word basket and then a random collection of numbers, just so you can save it instantly if you're not too concerned about the naming of these baskets. But if you do want to name it, so like because it's red pens, we'll get it for Gary's birthday, and we'll save that because he loves his red pens. So I'm just waiting for that to save. Yep.
Expect that now.
Just bounce it back out. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, so once that's saved, you get here, it says basket. As it say, Gary's birthday saved. And you'll see now on the right-hand side, you have this little option here, which says save baskets. And you have a default and I say this new one, which is Gary's birthday. The default is just switching outside of a named basket, or a saved basket rather. And this is just the list of saved baskets. You also find, so if I just switch back to the default, because there's no items in this in the default, you'll get the basket is empty. So if I just search for something else, let's say paper. Okay, and we'll just add this into the basket. So because I'm adding this and I've already got default selected, you'll see here now that it has the added detail of the save basket and then your baskets there, so you can switch within this screen here as well. But you can see that this paper has been added to the default basket. Now, if I were to switch to this one, just wait for that to load. There we go. And if I press add to basket, so for these post-its, we should see that then pops into this. There we go. So now those are within the actual save basket of Gary birthday. And again, if we switch back to default, this only will contain this paper pack that I've added. There we go. So then if you go into view the basket again, you can see I can switch here. So if I just do it in this screen again, going from default to Gary's birthday. And then, yeah, you can see those options. Now, if I just go back to the default, and then I can save this as a different one. So So you notice as well, I probably just clicked away from that too quick, but when you're within a save basket, you can't obviously have this option, which is create a save basket. This option only is available on your default screen. So I'll just create a new basket. I'll just give it the standard generated name. And there you go, confirmation that the basket's been saved with that basket name. And again, you can see the defaults appeared. So now this has been moved from the default and into this save basket. So you still have your default there, which you can switch back to. On top of that, once you begin having save baskets, you'll see there's an option here which says manage save baskets. And if you go into your my account section, there's also a manage save baskets there. So this is kind of handy if you wanted to split purchases up, or you wanted to organize it. So say one's for Office A and one's for Office B. You can then have these save baskets to organize that. If I go into the management of the save baskets, you get an overview of all the save baskets you've got. So here I've only got the 2. It also tells you how many items are within those save baskets, the total cost of that save basket, and when they expire, because these expire within 30 days. If you click on to the actual name of the basket, it'll jump straight into it. So like previously, like switching before on the drop down. And if you no longer need a basket, but even before the expiry date, if you press the delete icon, it'll delete that. There we go. So save baskets successfully deleted. And if you decide that you actually want to create a new one before adding any items, say we can say this is for Office B, let's say, and you can create that one. And then this will just create a blank save basket. Oh, assuming I've been logged out. Create that one. Oh yeah. Get back on here. So yeah, let's do it again. It's B. Yep, and you can see Office B is there now. So if I click onto Office B, it'll then put me into the basket. And because I've not already added items to it, it'll say basket is empty. And then if you start going shopping now, so if I go for a stapler, to load, there we go. And then we add that to the basket. And as I say, because I've already got the Office B basket saved, selected, it should then add that to there, so that you can see that it's in that. As I say, it's just a good way of managing your basket, so you can split them up if you want to say delay purchases or have them for certain orders. You can kind of clump those products together for that kind of management to make that a little bit easier. I think that's about it. I don't think it's relatively straightforward, so I don't think there's any much more. There's something you can think of, Gary?
Just the display. Oh, that's it. So no, that's one you just got. Yeah.
Been through that.
Okay. So this is a feature that seems to be growing in requests. It allows you to log into one account and build multiple baskets, which you can save under particular names. So if you're working if your customer's working in a business where they want to order for various different people, they can build up various different baskets under that same login and have control over it and just quickly go to those baskets. It's good for a lot. It might not be good for others, but it's functionality that is there and has been released and is actually being utilized. Okay, so that's concluded the presentations from Jim, Jordan and Dan. We have in this release also put in some functionality to allow to start integrating with Supplier more with banners, etc. So when they store banners in our marketplace, they will then become available for you guys. We're just working with them to get some banners put in there, and that's not just full width banners. That'll be all imagery. So wherever you're going to put it, so it'll come in the right size, and it's really covering for promotional activity. In the next few days, we will be putting in a new release, and I'm just going to quickly show you this new release. It's not a change to the software, it's a change to the content. Okay, so when we go on to, I'll just share my screen. And this will just be 2 minutes and we can conclude. So when you're searching for products, we've been working on a solution to make sure that actually what you're searching for does come back with some really relevant results. So if I search for desk here, I want to make sure that desks or desk comes back. Okay, if I search for desks, I want to make sure that desks come back. Okay, and sometimes it's not always the case in your current stores. If I search for diary, I want diary, but actually when I'm a user, I don't say diary, I say diaries. Same product, I want the same responses. If I'm searching for envelopes, I may well search for DL as the envelope. And the system then knows actually it's looking for a DL envelope. Here, obviously, you are getting a DL holder because you've searched for DL, but if I search for copy paper, it comes back. So we have done extensive work on the search. We're about to release this data change. Okay, so it benefits yourselves and your users. It focuses in on the. If I search for AA batteries, this is a really good one to show you. It will bring back AA batteries at the top. Actually, if you go further forward, you may actually then start seeing AAA batteries coming up because it is expanding in the search at that point. But predominantly, I've searched for an AA battery, and it's returning dust at the beginning AA batteries. So I think this is a significant step forward. We do have some further changes to make, but I want to make sure that your users and you benefit from this very soon. So this is some data changes that go, not software update, but we will tell you when this is going in. Okay, so again, it's a game changer for the web. So that concludes the presentation itself. Thank you very much for joining. The next presentation will be on Marketplace, and it'll probably be in 4 weeks. Okay, so watch out for that invitation. That's going to go through all elements of Marketplace and how that you can utilize that to your benefit. So all I can do is now say thank you for attending. I have noted down all the 4 or 5 comments that have been put forward. There's a couple I'll come back separately on, but others I have put comments back in the chat. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone who's presented and everyone who has listened, and I wish you a pleasant rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Cheers.